Hi, I'm James Shellinglaw here at Virtuoso Travel Week, and I'm here with a familiar face, if you've been in cruising for a while, familiar to me at least, and it's a fellow James Rodriguez, who is the new president and CEO of Atlas Ocean Voyages. Really new, just a few weeks ago. So we're going to talk to James about his new role and what he's going to be doing with Atlas Ocean and what it's like coming back to the cruise industry after a little break, but we'll see. And you'll find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Well, James, first of all, congratulations. It was great to see you back. We've been hanging around together for a long time, and I missed you for the little time you were off, but I'm sure you had a nice break. But you just told me, I'm ready to come back, right?
Oh, yeah. I was ready after 6 months to come back. The travel industry gets in your blood. You just really cannot get away from it. So.
And then you've been at it for so long. It's great, as we have. I think we kind of grew up together in this business like that. Now, just a few weeks ago, you did take the helm at Atlas Ocean. What do you think about the brand?
Oh, it's a fantastic brand. I mean, the ships are absolutely beautiful. I just came back actually from Porto to see the new ship in production.
That's the World Traveler, right?
World Traveler. I was blown away just by the attention to detail, the design of the ships. These are really just jewel yachts that take people on vacations. So.
Yeah, and I've been lucky enough to go on the first one, so I really enjoyed it. Now, and what motivated you to take this job? What did you see here that you saw an opportunity?
Well, you probably know from my past, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I love the opportunity to come in and build something. And unfortunately, when these ships were launched, it was right before the pandemic. So they really
launched through a COVID pandemic is a little bit of a challenge. Right?
Exactly. So I think they still have an opportunity right now to relaunch these ships in a new era. And I think that it's a perfect blend of opportunity for me to come in and build something from the ground up.
Yeah, just one ship and you got a few more on the way. So now you were at Oceania for many years in different posts. And what do you see in terms of the similarities and differences between the Oceania and Atlas Ocean?
Well, I see a lot of the beginnings where you're able to build something. You're building not only the product itself, the service levels, but also just building the clientele and the type of itineraries and build a company and create the kind of DNA of a brand new startup. And so whenever I looked at this opportunity, I thought this is the perfect opportunity for me to come in and start a startup and build a clientele and build a brand new brand. So.
Yeah, and also, but there is a slight difference. You were in a sort of upper premium case with Oceania, and now you're in a sort of small ship expedition line, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's some similarities, but also some differences. You know, with Oceania, it was we didn't really have very many new to cruise guests. It was always new to brand guests. And here we focus not only on the new to brand guests, but we're also focused on new to cruise, especially with the expedition itineraries that we have. Those call in a whole different type of traveler that are not necessarily just cruisers, but they are people who like to explore the world on tours or land vacations.
Yeah, they do come in. They're not necessarily past cruisers, but they love discovery and they go on the ships. And one thing that's happened in the last few years is we've seen sort of an explosion. And granted, the number of berths total, it couldn't fit into a large ship, but you've seen an amazing number of brands emerge in the category, right?
Right, absolutely. And I think that with Atlas Ocean Voyages, we have a really unique value proposition because of the size of the ships themselves. It's under 200 guests. In Antarctica, we're only 186. And as you know, sort of the rules and regulations of Antarctica, there's only a certain number of landings you can do a day. And so these ships give our guests the opportunity to go in and really get intimate with the guest from a learning perspective, with the expedition teams, with the naturalists that we have on board, so that it's a little bit more of an in-depth experience, maybe a little bit longer landing opportunities for them as well.
Absolutely, and it's really great. And I have not yet gone on Atlas Ocean for an expedition. I was on the owner's cruise back last year for 10 days, which was cool, interesting. I got a chance to see the ship, but I haven't seen the ship truly in operation in the expedition cycle, so we'll see what happens there. Now, what are some of your first steps you're going to take as president and CEO?
Well, number one, coming in to take a look at the corporate structure itself. Building a really strong team is the foundation to any success of a company. So I want to make sure we have the right people in the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. Forging really strong partnerships with our trade partners is also important. We are a expedition and Arctic cruise company. We also do on shoulder seasons. We go to the Med, and we also go to the Greek Isles and the Italian coast. And
because it's just not Antarctic or Arctic. You guys go all over the place as expedition, right?
Right, but our focus is really expedition. So there's the trade partners out there that really specialize in that. So we want to make sure we find them. We forge these really strong relationships with them, bring their guests on board on an Arctic or Antarctica cruise, and then we can take their guests to other places as well around the world.
No, that's great. Now, you mentioned you were over to see the new World Traveler. How is that ship, if going to be different at all from the World Navigator, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the footprint's the same, but I think that the Portuguese interior designers who came in and designed the inside of the ships have designed each ship with its own personality. So, for example, the Navigator has more of a steamliner, New York 40s chic vibe on the inside of the ship, and the Traveler is going to have a little bit of different personality, which is they're calling the Dolce Vita, which is a little bit lighter, lots of blues, a tribute to the ocean, to the water itself. So it's going to look in color and design a little bit different, but the hardware is the same. And again, I
still have the same dining and things like that, or?
Absolutely. But what we've also done is we also learned how the guest and also the crew and staff are using the ship, and we've made some adjustments in those areas as well. Back in the galley, the way they process or bringing in the waiters and serving the guest, we've changed some of the galley space. We've changed some of the public areas just to make it more open and atmosphere for guests to come and join the apres at sea after they go to Antarctica, come in and really share their stories about their adventures.
Believe me, I was on one of a couple of expedition ships, and that's what they like to talk about, what they just did, right?
Oh, absolutely. And again, the environment on board our ships is less than 200 guests. There is this strong bond that you forge with other world travelers and also the crew and staff.
Now, this is maybe a little unfair question because you just arrived at Atlas Ocean. From your impression, what are the kind of strengths of the Atlas Ocean experience from your perspective or things that you want to really stress as you move forward?
Sure. Well, I think we touched on just one of them. The size of the ships gives us a unique opportunity to create an environment on board that really creates bonds with our guests. The availability to the chefs, to the captain, going up under the bridge and just seeing the beautiful atmosphere, you're going to get to know your fellow guests and also the crew and staff a little bit better. These are yacht-style cruising, yacht-style expeditions, so it's like you've actually gone and chartered your own yacht when you go on board. So it's a little bit of a different experience than your larger cruise ships out there.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about possible other changes. Are you going to be looking at, I know one thing you've been branded as kind of looks adventure. I understand you might be changing that a little bit.
Well, it's still a luxurious adventure, of course, but we're really moving towards the yacht-style experience because we think that our target market is the U.S. market, U.S.-Canada market, and we think that defining the ship as these really intimate, luxurious yacht-style cruising, yacht-style expedition really resonates with guests and gives them a little bit more of a explanation of what they're in for, or what to expect on board the ships.
And also, I understand, are you going to take another look at the itineraries for the next few years?
We have, actually. Not in Antarctica, because we think we have some really great Antarctica sailings, also the Arctic. But we are looking at some of the shoulder seasons and going to some of the more traditional marquee and boutique ports. I think that's one of the things that we're really going to focus on. We have the size of ships that allows us to get into certain ports that other cruise ships are not able to get into. But we're also going to mix in some of those marquee ports like the Romes, the Monte Carlos, the Nice, the Barcelonas, because that's what guests really want to see. They want to go see those, but they also are port collectors, so they want to see some really out-of-the-way places that maybe they're not able to go to on other cruise ships.
And then you're going to have a second ship, so you're going to have a little more flexibility to do a lot of these things, right?
Oh, absolutely. As our fleet grows, so will our touch of the world out there.
Atlas Ocean launched, during COVID with some really extraordinarily friendly agent policies, advisor policies for travel agencies. I assume you're going to continue those, or even take another look and make them even better.
Oh, absolutely. I started in this business on the advisor side. I started with a travel agency and then worked my way into the cruise space. So my heart is with our travel advisors, and we're going to continue those policies, if not make them even better.
Yeah, and I know you know the travel advisors, and you've been always, you had extraordinarily friendly policies at Oceania, and I assume you're going to carry that forward with Atlas.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, anything else you want to tell our 106,000 travel advisors out there about your new role, Atlas Ocean, and what things are going to be like going forward?
All I can say is that I'm really excited about this opportunity to build a brand new cruise company, and also create some really extraordinary itineraries and really focus on the guest experience on board our ships. It's really important that we get that right, and we have some really great surprises for the guests whenever they get on board.
Well, we're looking forward to that. And now, where can travel advisors go to learn more about Atlas Ocean and everything you do?
Of course, you always come to our website, but you could also call any of our sales representatives out in the industry.
Well, James, congratulations again. Good luck. We'll be there for you to cover as you grow and prosper with this new job and this relatively new line. I mean, it really is out of the box. I was lucky enough to go on a nice 10-day cruise to get a feel for the product, not the whole expedition side of it, and not really a real cruise. It was like the owner's cruise, actually. But and your owner, Mario Ferrara, is really an interesting guy, really great entrepreneur, which I think you probably picked up on, and hopefully
bonded.
I would think so, and of course I don't know about you, but Mario just went into space, so that was kind of interesting. He went up on Blue Origin with Jeff Bezos, and I don't think anybody we wrote about it, but I just thought that was amazing. So you want to go into space with him?
Absolutely. That's the next frontier. So yeah, we have to get you on board our ship again.
Absolutely. Well, James, again, great to see you here at Virtuoso, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of you in the next few weeks, and I think we're going to be in the same circuit for a little while.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.